Welcome to Conversations with Eve. How you guys doing? So, on this episode, you got your wine? Go grab it if you don't, and let's chat. So, on this episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about something that my family and I are going through personally. But it's also a New York City problem. So I got married in August of last year. And then shortly thereafter, we moved because we wanted to move into a place that was, our own. And we moved and we said that we were going to be here for, a couple years, 3 years tops, before we move on to home purchasing or leaving New York, whatever we decided to do. So we're still in Queens in New York, and we moved into the first floor of a house, and then we have neighbors upstairs, but we're on the first floor. And it's a beautiful place. It's a 3-bed, it's spacious, it's huge, it's humongous, it's nice. But shortly after moving in, I got a notification on my Blink camera. I was at work, and the Blink camera said, there's motion. We've detected motion in your home. So I'm like, what? Nobody's home. So I click on it. So I'm watching because the lights are off. It's winter time, so it's a little darker. The lights are off. And so I'm watching to see what the motion is. And we also have the Long Island Railroad that runs behind the house. So sometimes when the railroad is running, it changes the lighting in the apartment, and then the camera just thinks it's someone moving around. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna see. And so I'm watching, and I'm watching, and I'm watching. And then the light flickers a little bit, and then at the bottom of on the floor, something runs by. And immediately I was like, because I have the most fear of mice. It is my absolute phobia, and I can't even really explain it. All I know is I literally feel like I'm gonna die if I see one. And my anxiety, I start to cry, I start to panic. I just can't be around them, let alone live with them. So I, immediately called the landlord and like, we have a problem. So, they come out, and one thing I must say, my landlords are attentive. If I call, they show up. So they came out and, looked around, stuffed and all that stuff, and put, just stuffed the holes and gave me, traps and baits and all that stuff. So now I'm on high alert because we have a mouse. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna panic just yet. I'm gonna chill. So once they brought that stuff, we, continued to live life. And I didn't really see any other signs of anything. And then I was in my room one day, and maybe 2 weeks after, I was in my room, and I was praying, and I heard like a scratchy sound by my closet. So immediately I stood up and I'm like, what was that? But then it stopped and I was like, alrighty, Rose, don't go too crazy. Don't panic. Just chill. So I left it alone. But then maybe a week later, something was like, yo, you should check your closet. So I told my daughter, I said, this is what I heard. I think I need help. Let's look in my closet and see what we see. So she's way bolder than I am. And so she was like, all right. So she started to take my shoes out of the bottom of the closet. And so when she was done emptying it out, used the light to see around, and there was a little hole in the corner of my closet. So we're like, okay, that's a problem, right? And then she also found maybe like 11 to 15 mouse droppings, and I was like, oh God, so that was an issue. So I went to the store, bought Brillo steel wool because that's all I could find immediately, and I know that I needed the actual real steel wool, but I got the Brillo steel wool, and so I stuffed the hole, and then took my shoes out the closet, left it. The landlord came, gave me another black box. I put it in the closet, and that was that. So he was like, all right, you know, we're gonna leave that. So, and I never put my shoes back in the closet. I left it, and I was like, okay, we're gonna wait, and we're gonna see what happens. So, so now my life is at a standstill because I literally can't go in my closet now, right? So now I have to ask my daughter to go in my closet, take clothes out for the week so that I don't have to keep going back in the closet. It's a mess. And my husband is a workaholic, so he's out early, in late, right? And then he also does not have a fear. And I think sometimes when people just don't have a fear of something, they just don't get it. And sometimes, because I don't understand why some people have to actually go through something in order for them to understand or have or imagine how someone else may feel. It's like saying, you know, I've never had a death in my family, so I don't know. So I can't be sympathetic to you because I've never had to deal with that. It's like, but you could imagine, can't you? You could imagine what it feels like to have a fear of something. You could imagine what it's like to lose someone. So you don't have to actually necessarily have to go through something in order for you to feel for someone. Okay, so he doesn't, so when I call him and I'm sure on the other end of the phone saying, the fuck, what's wrong with her? But, you know, he tries his hardest to entertain my crazy when this is happening. So, so that was that. Let's fast forward a week. I'm sitting on my couch. I'm talking to my girlfriend on the phone, and, you know, we're talking, and we're just, you know, talking. My daughter's in the back in her room because we have a long hallway. So she's all the way in the back in her room. I'm on my phone. In the kitchen, because they have an open kitchen, and the radiators in the apartment are the ones that run along the floor, along the baseline of the floor in the apartments. So we have one in the kitchen. And so from that area, a mouse comes out. And I said, oh my God. So I scream. And then I call for my daughter and she's like, what? You see one? I'm like, yeah. So when I screamed, it ran back. And then a few minutes later, it showed up again. I screamed, it ran back. Then it, I guess, decided, all right, I can't come out this way because she sees me and she keeps screaming. So I'm gonna go another way. So he went behind the fridge because I can't see him there, and came, I'm saying he, I don't know what it went behind the fridge and I can't see it there. So it went behind the fridge and then it came out and it went under the stove. My daughter saw it go under the stove. So I'm like, oh my God, this is not working. No one's home but just my daughter and I. My husband's at work, right? So I called the landlord and I'm like, oh, yeah. So I told my daughter, we're gonna go sit in the car. So we went and sat in the car, literally. My landlord was like, okay, we're on our way. I was like, okay. And we sat in the car. We were like, we're hungry. We Uber Eats. We called Uber Eats. Uber Eats, we ordered food while we were sitting in the car. Uber Eats showed up and he stepped out the car and I rolled down the window. Hey, hi, over here. And he brought us the food. We sat in the car, ate it. The landlord came, we came inside. He again looked for openings, bought some more bait stuff, some more things and whatever, and put them down, and we were like, all right, cool. But something told me to still sit in the car. So by the time my husband called me and I'm on the phone, I'm like, I am in my car. Just, belligerent, losing it. So when the landlord leaves and everything, we go back and sit in the car. Maybe 30 minutes later, my husband pulls up. So we're like, okay, good. Let's go. He's here. So we get out the car, let him go first. He opens the door. He opens the second door that leads to the apartment. And as soon as he walks in, he's like, oh, look, it got caught on the trap. Ran back out, sat in the car, waited for him to do what he had to do, take it outside, whatever. So that was that. But I knew that if you see one, there's more. So I'm like, oh, I can't, this is not gonna work for me. I can't live like this. This is not. And we pay a lot of money for rent. So it's kind of like, I can't just pay, it's too much. I can't. And so, he took it. So that was that. But I knew that I eventually would see another. So we, I want to say 3 weeks maybe went by, and I have, what some may understand and some may not understand, is I get all these anxieties and stuff when something's about to happen. So I was laying in bed one morning. It was like 5:15 in the morning, and I had to use the bathroom, and I was getting ready to get up and start to get ready for the day. And I just got this immediate anxiety just got this immediate anxiety. And I went and I said, all right. So I got up, turned the light on in my bedroom, opened up my bedroom, turned the light on in the hallway, and was making my way towards the bathroom. And a mouse ran out from underneath the bathroom door and shot into our third bedroom. And again, I lost it. My husband wasn't home. My daughter's sleeping in the other room. It was just too much. Again, texting the landlord at 6 o'clock in the morning. So At this point now, they're like, all right, we're going to come with an exterminator. And they came that night with an exterminator. So, you know, the exterminator pulls out the stove, pulls out the fridge, sees that there's activity, puts black boxes around, all this other stuff. And, you know, I saw this girl on TikTok that had drop ceilings, and I have regular ceilings. I don't have drop ceilings, but she has drop ceilings in her apartment. And I've never seen anyone have drop ceilings in their apartment. I've always seen people just have, you know, regular ceilings. Drop ceilings I've mostly seen in like office spaces. But she has drop ceilings, and she has a rat problem, and she lives in New Jersey. And so you could hear the rats running around, and it's just a lot. So she's going through a lot. And she had posted that she had bought this foam, and you spray it and then it hardens. So I was like, all right, I ordered it. I found it on Amazon, ordered it. And so I've been going around foam spraying every crack and crevice I see. So when the exterminator came, I know he was like, what the hell? Because some of them I spray and it unfortunately didn't set right, so it looks crazy, but I don't care. So he came, he did his thing. He went upstairs to the neighbors, exterminated their place, the basement, and then he said he found an opening on the side of the house outside where, you know, they are potentially traveling in and out. So he was to seal that. And he left. Because essentially, what else can he do, right? So my husband and I went out, and again, on the way home, I got this feeling. I was like, we're about to walk into something. We're about to walk into something. My daughter called me to ask me where I was, and I was like, we're on our way back. And she was like, I haven't left my room. It's just too quiet out there. And I was like, okay, well, we're on our way back. But the whole drive, I'm like, we're walking into something. We're about to walk into something. And I had purchased glue traps. No, let me even take a step back. I purchased before, after the exterminator left, that night, I had glue trap laid out, and I put some peanut butter on the glue trap, and we woke up the next morning, and the trap was not where I left it. It was back towards the radiator. The peanut butter was gone, and there was mouse droppings on the trap. So the bastard found a way to eat the peanut butter, drag the trap, take his ass off the trap, because he was on it, because you could see his hair and stuff stuck to the trap. And I guess once he realized, oh shit, I'm stuck on this shit, I'm about to die, he shitted. But he was able to wiggle himself off the trap. So we woke up the next morning, trap empty, freaking hair, poop, peanut butter gone. I was livid. I was like, oh my God. So anyway, so I threw that out, went to the store, bought new traps, and said, all right, this time I bought the bigger, longer one, and then I laid that one, and then the other trap that had peanut butter on it, I laid it in the other direction, forming a T, kind of, and I left it there. And then my husband and I went out. My daughter was in her room. She called me. I said, we're on our way home. She said she hasn't left her room because, you know, she just doesn't want to see anything. And I was like, okay, cool. But on the way home, I was like, something. We're walking into something. And we get home, we park the car, we get out the car, we walk in, and I had my cell phone light on, because we have to, from the door to the light switch, it's probably 10 feet. And I went, so I had my cell phone light on, and the long trap, the one with the peanut butter, is still there, but the long one isn't. So I said, where's the trap? And I was like, what trap? The trap, the mouse trap. So I immediately start to lose it. And he's like, calm down. And I'm like, where's the trap? So he went into the kitchen and he was like, oh, he's on it. Like, nothing. And I'm like, he's on it. Yes, is he gonna get off of it? Nah, he's not getting off of it. He's on it. So then he pulled and the nasty critter was dragged. Even though he was on it, he still managed to drag the trap back under the radiator again, because I'm figuring that's their entry point. So the same way, and I feel like he's the same one from the night before that got off the trap. So, you know, he figured, I'm gonna try this again. So he came. And so he did the same thing in order to try to get himself off the trap. But this time, I think he was just too, he was too on it and couldn't. So he was on the trap. So we caught him, and that, you know, that was last night. And, you know, so caught him, got rid of that, laid out new traps, have other traps. My problem is this. I can't do this. Like, I literally can't live like this. I feel like it's for other people that have this phobia that can relate. It's paralyzing. It's crippling. I can't live in my home. I can't fully enjoy being home some days, because I'm a homebody and I like to lay on the couch, chill, Netflix and chill, drink my wine, chill out, cool out. And I can't fully, because my senses are like, my eyes are playing tricks on me, and it's just too much. When I have to use the bathroom, it's a lot. And so, you know, waking up in the middle of the night to come get something to drink is out of the question. Just different things. So it's like, so, and then, you know, and then I'm reading up on these things, and I'm like, when you gotta Google and read up on things and try to read up to see what to do, how to do it, how to save yourself, it's a problem. You know, and these things carry so many diseases, and they're just disgusting to me. And I feel like if I don't get a hold of this, they're going to control my life. So now I'm telling my husband and my daughter, and I'm like, yo, we have 8 more months to this lease. I don't know. I'm not going to keep going through this, because I feel like, you know, it's not going to be a thing where they're fully eradicated. They're going to keep coming back. And it's going to be what? Every 3 weeks? I can't. I can't live like this. So, I have been trying to figure out, if it's even possible to get over the fear of these things, because the way that these things have me paralyzed in fear, and even telling the story, I want to cry. And so I am like, I don't know that I can. And it doesn't, you know, I don't leave garbage. I clean. I make sure my counters are clean. Dishes are washed. Just vacuuming. Just, and it doesn't even matter. They just fucking come. And, you know, and and I know that New York City has a rat and mice problem anyway. And certain parts of New York City, you're gonna have mice. It's just inevitable. But I don't think that is or should be acceptable. Like, I feel like something has to get done about these rodents. And it's, you know, they have babies and they have what, 6, 7 litters at a time, and it's ugh. And you know, and I know that the rat problem is far worse, you know, in Manhattan, than anything. And I know since the pandemic, they've gotten worse and gotten more aggressive because restaurants weren't throwing out, you know, the restaurants were closed, they were hungry, there were no garbages outside, nothing for them to eat. So they, you know, were a little bit more aggressive. But I feel like the mice population for, you know, in people's homes and stuff like that are just as bad. And it's like, and then, you know, you're at the mercy of, if your neighbors aren't clean, if the neighborhood, don't let construction be happening anywhere near your home. It's a wrap. And up the block, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8, 9 houses up is like an abandoned house, which I'm sure is full of them. But New York City itself really, really, really has a problem. And so I don't even know what to do. Because these things bring destruction, they bring diseases, and I don't know. And it's so crazy because I was just reading a website that said that they migrated to New York City in the late 1700s. What? And they have infested the city's alleys, basements, parks, and can be blamed on just trash throughout the city and stuff like that. And I mean, I understand, but I don't know what to do. So, you know, stay tuned, and I'll let you guys know exactly what happens, what's gonna happen, how I'm gonna cope, you know, if my husband's gonna leave me, because I just can't, you know. But I do know that if within the next few months throughout the summer, if this remains a problem, if it remains a relevant problem, I won't be renewing this lease, and we will be vacating, and we will be looking for someplace else. And I will sit and do all the research and all the necessary research I have to do to get statistics and I'm out and I can't. So I'll keep you guys posted, and we'll go throughout the summer together, and I'll let you guys know what my family and I have decided to do in order to save my life. Because if this continues like this, I will die. Heart attack. I won't make it. Just let y'all know. So, thanks for listening to my story, chilling with me on this episode of Conversations with Eve. And I will see you guys same time, same place next week. Have a blessed week, and remember to start your day off with prayer, end your day off with prayer. Matter of fact, pray all day, every day, because prayer changes things. Conversations with Eve.